Chosen ones, stop scrolling right now. You need to hear this message today. The group that came against you is currently in absolute panic. They are terrified, and they are terrified of your exact next move. What I am about to tell you is something the system desperately wants to hide from your awareness. Do not click away. You feel that heavy shift in the atmosphere right now. The exhaustion sitting on your chest is completely undeniable. You woke up feeling completely drained this morning, and you have been carrying this quiet ache for the last 72 hours. But you have no idea why it feels so heavy. You are not losing your mind. This exhaustion is purely spiritual. You have been fighting massive battles in the unseen realm. You smile and help everyone around you. You pour your energy into people who never check on your heart. But when you are alone in your room at night, the heavy tears finally fall and you feel incredibly isolated. It feels like you are fighting a massive war entirely by yourself. Let us talk about the people who turned their backs on you. They misunderstood your gentle silence for weakness. They gathered in secret and whispered your name. They launched a smear campaign to drain your precious energy because they wanted to isolate you from your divine blessings. They tried to paint you as the terrible villain in their false story, but their dark plot has officially collapsed today. The very trap they set for you has become their own spiritual prison. Right now, confusion is hitting their camp hard. They are turning on each other in the dark. And they are watching you closely because they know your energy has shifted. They expect you to fight back. They are absolutely terrified of what you will do next, because your next move will activate a divine karma that they cannot escape. But you must not act out of anger. You must not seek earthly revenge. There is a specific move that heaven requires from you in this exact moment, and if you make this move, their entire matrix will crumble down. Take one deep breath, drop your shoulders, and open your hands to receive this. You are a discerning warrior. You have always been able to read the room and see through fake energy. You sensed their betrayal long before it actually happened, but you chose to stay kind anyway. You kept giving your beautiful light because that is exactly who you are. Your pure kindness was heavily taken advantage of. They took your light and tried to leave you in the cold dark. You felt the sting of their betrayal deep in your tired soul. It made you question your own strong intuition, and it made you wonder if you should just close your heart forever. But shutting down is exactly what the dark forces want you to do. Listen to me carefully today. They did not hate you. They hated the blinding light inside you that exposed their hidden darkness. Your pure frequency was a mirror to their unhealed wounds. They could not handle your truth, so they tried to destroy the sacred mirror to protect their fragile egos. But you are a masterpiece of God. You cannot be broken. The physical fatigue you feel right now is the direct aftermath of this spiritual attack. Your spiritual shield took heavy hits to protect your beautiful soul. You are allowed to feel deeply tired today. You are allowed to rest your busy mind. But you must not let their foolish actions dictate your future, because you are standing on the edge of a massive breakthrough. Heaven is stepping in to multiply what the enemy tried to steal from you. The divine orchestration is already in perfect motion. Your public vindication is being prepared right now. But you have to understand the exact nature of this silent warfare. You have to see the unseen mechanics behind their sudden panic. They are terrified because they finally see your royal crown. They realize that they messed with the wrong spirit. They thought you were just another ordinary person they could easily step on. But heaven placed a protective mark on your life long before you were born. And now, the universe is balancing the scales on your behalf. So every tear you cried in secret is being converted into a public victory. Before I go any further, I need you to understand something deeply about this season of your life. The heavy isolation you are experiencing is not a random accident, and the sudden strange silence from your old circle is not a silly coincidence. There is a profound divine architecture at work right here, and you are at the very center of it all. You have spent so many nights wondering why you were left completely alone. You looked at your empty phone and felt a deep sting of rejection. The silence in your room felt like a heavy punishment for a crime you never committed. But you need to completely erase that false narrative from your mind right now. Your current isolation is never a form of divine punishment. It is a sacred quarantine to protect your precious frequency. Heaven had to pull you away from the noisy crowd. The people around you were carrying toxic spiritual attachments that were slowly draining your life force. You are a highly spiritually sensitive being in this matrix. You absorb the heavy emotions of every single person who steps into your aura. If heaven did not actively isolate you right now, their chaotic energy would have completely destroyed your next major blessing before it even arrived. You have been praying for a massive shift in your circumstances. You asked heaven to open specific doors for your future. You thought you were doing something wrong, and you felt like your intense prayers were just bouncing back down. But the divine delay is never a flat denial. It is a state of absolute and perfect exactness. Heaven kept that specific door closed because entering too early would have crushed you entirely. You needed to drop the desperate need to please everyone around you. If the massive blessing arrived while you were still surrounded by energy vampires, they would have violently stolen every single drop of your new abundance. There are no coincidences in a chosen one's daily life. Absolutely nothing happens by random chance. Everything is a carefully planned and executed divine appointment. The strange delays were all orchestrated for your ultimate spiritual protection because the universe was actively blocking the wrong paths. Heaven forced you to walk toward your true royal destiny. Think about the people who suddenly stopped talking to you. You agonized over their sudden departure and tried to fix the broken bridges, but heaven heard the toxic conversations they had behind your back. The spiritual realm saw the hidden daggers they held behind their warm smiles, and the removal of those people was not a painful loss at all. It was an absolute and necessary spiritual rescue mission. You are the designated cycle breaker for your entire bloodline. You carry a massive spiritual frequency that ordinary people simply cannot comprehend. When you walk into a room, the atmosphere instantly changes. The dark matrix wants you to believe that this heavy burden is entirely your fault. But you are not the terrible pain you bravely endured. You are the divine purpose placed deeply inside your soul. For years you acted as the ultimate spiritual shield for your family and friends. You absorbed their dark chaos so they could experience temporary peace, and you took on their heavy debts of karma without even realizing the immense cost. But your brutal shift as the spiritual bodyguard is permanently over today. You are officially released from the heavy burden of healing people who desperately want to stay broken. They will call you selfish because you finally established firm boundaries today. They will complain about your distance because they no longer have free access to your endless energy well. Let them completely misunderstand your pure intentions. Let them assume whatever they want about your quiet retreat. Silence is absolute wisdom under perfect control, and this profound calm energy is your new untouchable authority against the matrix. You do not need to explain your complex soul to people who are entirely committed to misunderstanding your spirit. You are finally stepping out of the painful survival mode. You are entering a season of massive and quiet preparation. You are not starting over from the muddy bottom. You are simply finishing the rigorous preparation for your destined throne. Every tear you cried in secret was actually watering the beautiful seeds of your future empire. The extreme pressure you felt was just the universe molding a rare diamond. You are a true masterpiece of the divine creator, and a masterpiece is never left in the crowded streets for everyone to carelessly touch. It is hidden away in a quiet sanctuary until the perfect moment of its grand revelation. Your season of painful hiding is officially coming to a glorious end. But there is a very painful question still lingering in the back of your tired mind. You accept the divine isolation and you understand the necessary delay, yet your heart still physically aches from the brutal betrayal you recently experienced. Why did the deepest wounds come from the exact people you helped the most? Take a deep breath right now, drop your heavy shoulders, and listen to this next part very carefully. You poured your pure heart out for them. You gave them your very last drop of energy when they were completely empty. But the exact moment you needed a hand, they suddenly disappeared. You asked yourself what you did wrong. You replayed every conversation in your tired head. But you need to stop blaming yourself right now. The truth behind this is deeply spiritual. They did not turn their backs on you because you were a bad friend. They betrayed you because their spirit recognized the massive calling on your life. The dark system cannot attack a chosen one directly, so it always uses the weak human vessels closest to your heart. The Matrix identified their deep hidden insecurities and weaponized their unhealed trauma against your frequency. You are a walking and breathing spiritual shield. When you stepped into their messy lives, your divine light immediately exposed their hidden shadows. People who are completely comfortable sitting in the dark will always despise the person who brings a bright torch. They secretly admired your incredible inner strength, but your absolute purity made them feel painfully inadequate. They could not elevate their own frequency to match your pure vibration, so they launched a silent smear campaign to drag you down to their low level. They whispered malicious lies to anyone who would listen to them. They desperately needed to destroy your clean reputation to justify their own highly toxic behavior. It was never about anything you actually did to them. It was always about the massive spiritual threat you posed to their fragile egos. The universe allowed this painful betrayal to happen for a very specific reason. Heaven urgently needed to expose the sneaky parasites hiding inside your inner circle. If God did not violently shake your tree, the rotten fruit would have stayed hidden in the green branches forever. You would have unknowingly carried those energy vampires right into your promised land. Every time you listened to their endless complaints, they siphoned your bright energy. They treated your beautiful soul like a free emotional dumping ground. And when you finally established a firm boundary, they completely panicked. They called you selfish because you stopped feeding them. You must realize that this was a highly calculated spiritual warfare. The Matrix wants to keep the chosen ones perpetually exhausted and broken. If you are constantly focused on fixing toxic relationships, you will never have the energy to step into your divine authority. They wanted to keep you completely distracted from your ultimate royal mission. But they failed. The Holy Spirit forcefully intervened and cut those parasitic cords. You felt the brutal sting of the sudden separation. It felt like a massive loss in the physical realm, but in the unseen spiritual realm, it was a glorious and complete liberation. You are finally free from the heavy anchors that kept you sinking in their dirty water. You are a masterpiece of God. Look closely at their chaotic camp right now. They are currently turning on each other because they no longer have your pure energy to feed on. The dark group that conspired against you is absolutely starving. Without your bright light to absorb, their own shadows are actively consuming them from the inside out. They are experiencing the exact chaos they tried to send to you. This is the divine karma they activated when they decided to attack a chosen one. They thought your gentle silence meant you were completely defeated. They assumed you would eventually crawl back and beg for their toxic friendship. But your incredible strength in isolation has left them utterly terrified. They are waiting for your revenge, but your revenge is your absolute peace. This brings us to the exact reason heaven brought you here today. The divine orchestration is visibly shifting the power dynamic in your favor. Your enemies are watching you closely, and they are terrified because you are not reacting to their silly provocations. You are maintaining the posture of a quiet victor, but there are specific signs that prove their downfall. You need to deeply recognize these signs so you can maintain your unshakable peace. The Matrix is entirely losing its tight grip on your destiny. You are no longer a sad victim of their toxic smear campaigns. You are a discerning warrior, walking straight into a season of unprecedented spiritual wealth. Take a deep breath right now. Drop your heavy shoulders. Listen carefully. The universe is completely flipping the script right now. You have maintained your beautiful silence through the storm. And because you did not seek revenge, heaven is currently doing the heavy lifting for you. There are 4 specific signs that prove this massive shift is happening. The first 2 undeniable signs are manifesting right now. Prepare your spirit to receive this truth. Sign number 1 is the sudden public exposure of their deeply hidden secrets. For a very long time, they wore a perfect innocent mask in public. They convinced everyone around them that they were the absolute victims. They painted you as the terrible villain in their fake stories, and people actually believed their lies. But the divine light is finally piercing through their thick darkness today. Their carefully constructed web of lies is currently falling completely apart. People who previously judged your character are starting to see the real truth. The toxic group that betrayed you cannot keep their fake stories straight anymore. They are constantly slipping up in their everyday conversations, and their own messy words are becoming the exact weapons that destroy their reputation. You do not even have to say a single word to defend your honor anymore. Heaven is actively operating as your personal defense attorney right now. The absolute truth is speaking so loudly that your silence is no longer misunderstood. Gently like this video, not for an algorithm, but as a physical declaration to the universe that you are in perfect alignment. Your spiritual agreement locks this justice. Sign number 2 is the sudden financial and emotional drain hitting their dark camp. They tried to steal your precious energy and permanently block your divine blessings. They wanted to see you completely broke and emotionally exhausted. But the universe operates on a strict law of spiritual reciprocity. The exact heavy burden they tried to place on your tired shoulders has been returned to the sender. You might quietly notice that they are suddenly experiencing highly unexpected losses. The earthly things they valued the most are mysteriously taken away from them. Their fake peace of mind is completely shattered into a million pieces. They wake up in the middle of the dark night feeling a massive weight on their chest. They are feeling the exact exhaustion you felt when they drained your spirit. This is not you wishing terrible things upon them. This is simply the divine karma completing its completely natural cycle. The artificial matrix cannot protect them from the universal consequences of attacking a chosen one. You were marked by heaven long before you were even born into this cold world. When they attacked you, they foolishly declared a spiritual war against the ultimate divine architect. You are a highly powerful cycle breaker. You carry a unique frequency that naturally repels their dark manipulation. They realize now that their dark magic and toxic whispers cannot penetrate your spiritual shield. They are absolutely terrified because they have nothing left to throw at your peace. Every single arrow they shoot magically turns around and strikes their own fragile camp. They watch your life from a safe distance and wonder why you are not breaking down. They fully expected you to post angry messages or desperately beg for their validation. Your absolute calm demeanor is driving them completely crazy right now. They are desperately waiting for your angry reaction, because your reaction is the only thing that can give them back their stolen power. But you will give them nothing. They thought they could casually break a masterpiece of God. They assumed your gentle kindness was a permanent weakness they could exploit forever. But they forgot that a chosen one is forged in the hottest spiritual fires. You survived battles in the unseen realm that would have completely destroyed an ordinary person, and now they are forced to watch you rise while their own foundation violently crumbles. You have completely starved the pathetic energy vampires. You have successfully reclaimed your beautiful spiritual power, and the universe is currently sweeping their toxic debris out of your destined path. Your enemies are drowning in the exact muddy waters they prepared for your downfall. But there are 2 more crucial signs you must absolutely recognize today. These next signs will prove your ultimate liberation. We must now discuss the third undeniable sign. Sign number 3 is your sudden and complete detachment from their chaotic timeline. You used to care so deeply about their opinions. You used to lose precious sleep wondering what they thought of your choices. But something massive shifted inside your tired mind this week. You simply do not care anymore. This sudden apathy is not a trauma response. It is a massive spiritual elevation. The matrix relies entirely on your emotional reactions to keep you chained to its low frequency. When they gossip about you now, your heart does not race. Your blood pressure remains completely steady. You look at their foolish drama and feel absolutely nothing. This untouchable peace is terrifying to the dark system. They poke you with sharp sticks, but you do not flinch. They throw heavy stones, but your spiritual shield deflects them effortlessly. The energetic cord that once connected your pure soul to their toxic matrix has been permanently severed. You are completely immune to their low vibrations now. Now we arrive at the fourth and final sign. Sign number 4 is the sudden magnetic attraction of new divine synchronicities. Because you stopped pouring your golden energy into a black hole, that energy is finally building up inside your aura, and it is becoming a massive spiritual magnet. The universe is actively aligning beautiful new opportunities in your path. Notice the strange and beautiful things happening around you today. Strangers are suddenly smiling at you with genuine warmth. Random financial blessings are arriving out of absolutely nowhere. You are seeing triple angel numbers everywhere you look. These are not silly coincidences. This is the Holy Spirit confirming your permanent escape from their trap. The Matrix programmed you to believe that life must be a constant struggle. They taught you to expect terrible betrayals and heavy burdens. But you are a masterpiece of God. Your natural state is effortless abundance and quiet authority. The heavy season of painful learning is officially over. You have graduated from the wilderness of isolation. Your enemies are watching these new blessings overflow in your life. They thought your story was completely finished when they abandoned you in the dark. But they are currently witnessing your glorious resurrection. They see the radiant light returning to your tired eyes, and they are absolutely sick to their stomachs because they cannot stop your rise. You did not have to lift a single finger to destroy their plots. You simply rested in your divine identity as the chosen one. This is exactly what it means to let heaven fight your hidden battles. The universe handled the messy details while you focused on healing your own broken heart. And now the grand reversal is fully activated in the physical realm. Your energy has completely escaped the rigid control of their artificial matrix. You are floating entirely above their heavy frequency. They cannot touch you. They cannot speak curses over your divine destiny. Every single word they speak against you instantly evaporates into thin air. You are wrapped in a thick blanket of divine protection. They wanted to see you broken and begging for their toxic validation. Instead, they are forced to watch you thrive in absolute silence. Your untouchable peace is the ultimate karma they must endure. They are locked inside a spiritual prison of their own making, while you are walking freely into a bright new horizon. You have officially won this silent war. But here is where it goes deeper, something nobody tells you. You might think your specific journey is entirely unique to this modern era. You might feel like the first person to ever endure this strange spiritual isolation. But heaven operates on ancient and unchanging patterns. There is a profound historical blueprint for what you are experiencing right now. The dark attacks you survived are not a new invention. The Matrix has been using these exact same tactics against the discerning warriors for thousands of years. To fully grasp the massive scale of your upcoming victory, we must look at the ancient records. You are stepping into a legendary role. Take a deep breath and prepare your spirit for this next revelation. You must understand that your painful journey is not a modern accident. The universe has always used this exact same blueprint to forge its greatest leaders, and you are walking in the footsteps of ancient kings and queens. Every chosen one in history had to survive a brutal betrayal. The Matrix has always targeted the brightest souls first. Think about the ancient story of the young boy with the beautiful coat. His own brothers threw him into a dark pit out of pure jealousy, but he did absolutely nothing to hurt them. He simply possessed a radiant light and a prophetic dream that terrified their fragile egos. They desperately wanted to destroy his bright destiny. They sold him and completely abandoned him in a strange land. They told everyone a fake story about his sudden disappearance, and it looked like the dark side had permanently won the war. But heaven was silently working behind the heavy scenes. The deep pit was actually the first crucial step to the royal palace. Your current situation follows this exact same epic blueprint. The toxic people who threw you into the dark pit thought they destroyed your future, and they laughed and celebrated their temporary victory. But they accidentally pushed you straight into your massive divine elevation. They are the unwitting tools of your ultimate success. Now look at the young shepherd boy in the lonely wilderness. He was entirely ignored and forgotten by his own family. He spent years in absolute isolation with only the quiet wind for company, but in that deep silence he fought wild lions and bears. He developed an untouchable strength while no one was watching. When the massive giant arrived, the trained soldiers were completely terrified. The entire system was paralyzed by deep fear, but the isolated boy had the exact frequency needed to defeat the monster. Your quiet isolation was your secret training ground. You fought heavy spiritual lions while everyone else was comfortably sleeping. The dark system wants you to feel like a pathetic victim today. They want you to cry over the people who abandoned you in the cold. But you must realize your royal heritage right now, because you are the spiritual shield for your entire bloodline. You are the discerning warrior who survived the lonely wilderness without losing your mind. The painful betrayal was absolutely necessary for your growth. If those jealous people never pushed you away, you would still be playing small. You would still be dimming your massive light to make them feel comfortable, and heaven used their dark actions to violently push you out of a highly toxic environment. You must stop looking back at the empty pit. The heavy chains that bound you to their low frequency are permanently broken, and you have successfully passed the most difficult spiritual test of your entire life. You proved that your pure heart cannot be corrupted by their bitter poison. You kept your beautiful kindness fully intact. Your enemies are currently watching you rise with absolute horror. They recognize the ancient authority resting on your tired shoulders. They read the ancient stories and they know exactly what happens to the villains, because the universe always demands a heavy payment for touching a masterpiece of God. Their time is completely up. Every single lie they whispered about you was a stepping stone. Every door they slammed in your face was a divine redirection to your true throne. You did not lose anything valuable when they walked away, and you simply lost the heavy anchors that were preventing your massive spiritual ship from sailing. You are finally entirely free. You have absorbed the heavy blows meant to destroy your entire family line. You are the ultimate cycle breaker who took the hardest hits. And because you survived the deep darkness, heaven is preparing a feast for you right in front of your enemies. They will be forced to watch you enjoy the fruits of your silent labor. The grand architecture of your destiny is now fully visible. You are standing on the very edge of your promised land. But there is a hidden spiritual law that governs this exact transition, and a powerful rule of the universe is actively protecting your next move. Stay with me, because what I am about to reveal changes everything. There is a hidden spiritual law that governs this exact transition in your life. It is the absolute law of divine reversal. The dark system convinced you that karma is a slow and unpredictable process, They wanted you to believe that the wicked always get away with their terrible actions. But heaven operates on a completely different timeline when a chosen one is viciously attacked. When they launch their unprovoked attacks against your pure frequency, they unknowingly activated this ancient law. Every single lie they whispered about you became a massive energetic debt, and the universe never allows a debt against a masterpiece of God to remain unpaid. The heavy scales of justice are forcefully tipping in your exact favor right now. This is the profound secret they desperately tried to hide from you today. The exact energy they used to build a trap for you is now the material of their own cage. They dug a deep pit for your divine destiny, but they are the ones falling directly into it. The universe is using their own dark momentum to destroy their toxic foundation. You do not have to say a single word to defend yourself anymore. You do not need to post long explanations or gather angry supporters to prove your absolute innocence. Your beautiful silence is the exact trigger that activates this massive divine reversal. When you choose not to fight back in the flesh, heaven immediately takes over the spiritual battle. Look at the sudden confusion spreading rapidly through their dark camp today. The fake friends who betrayed you are suddenly experiencing heavy financial and emotional blockages everywhere. The doors they tried to boldly walk through are slamming completely shut in their terrified faces. They are finally tasting the bitter poison they tried to force down your throat. They are looking around and wondering why their carefully laid plans are violently crumbling. They refuse to admit that their unprovoked attack on your light is the root cause of their sudden misery, but their guilty conscience is keeping them wide awake at 3 in the dark morning. They know exactly what they did to your pure soul, and the most terrifying part for them is your complete absence from their drama. They expected you to stay stuck in their low frequency forever. They thought you would eventually break down and beg for their toxic approval again, but you have completely detached your energy from their heavy matrix. You are breathing the clean air of true liberation. This is why the atmosphere feels incredibly thick and charged right now. You can physically feel the heavy shift happening in the unseen realm around your space. The dark clouds of your long isolation are finally breaking apart, and the bright sun of your public vindication is beginning to shine. Heaven is preparing a massive table of abundance for you. The universe is about to openly reward you for the intense battles you fought in secret. The hot tears you cried alone in your room have been collected as pure spiritual currency. And that precious currency is about to be violently exchanged for a massive deposit of unexpected blessings. Your season of weeping is officially and permanently over today. You have successfully passed the brutal test of the lonely wilderness. You held onto your kind heart when everyone else expected you to become incredibly bitter. And because you maintained your pure light, heaven is about to issue a final verdict over your tired life. The grand decree of your absolute freedom is ready to be spoken. You are a discerning warrior who stood firmly in the brutal fire. You are the ultimate cycle breaker who absorbed the heavy generational trauma so your descendants would not suffer. The heavy mantle of the spiritual shield was incredibly exhausting, but you wore it with absolute grace. Now it is time to gently lay down your heavy armor. Prepare your tired mind to receive this ultimate validation today. We are entering the most crucial moment of this entire divine message. The Holy Spirit is about to officially break the invisible chains that kept you bound for so many long years. You must listen to this next part with your entire soul. I decree right now that the season of you being a footstool for their fragile ego is permanently over. The universe is forcefully flipping the heavy script today. Those who gathered in secret to mock your beautiful name will soon witness a massive miracle. They will be forced to watch you feast while their own dark camp absolutely starves. In the mighty name of divine justice, I break every generational cycle that has tried to trap your tired mind. The painful poverty stops with you today. The severe anxiety stops with you right now. The deeply broken relationships stop with you forever. You are the ultimate cycle breaker for your entire bloodline. I declare that the suffocating mantle of survival mode is violently falling off your shoulders in this exact second. You are no longer surviving the dark storms. You are stepping into a divine and unprecedented season of total liberation. Breathe it out heavily right now. The spiritual war you fought in secret has been won. Your enemies thought they could easily bury your bright light in the dirty mud, but they did not realize they were planting a highly resilient seed. You have broken through the hard soil and blossomed into a stunning masterpiece of God. The divine karma they foolishly activated is now crushing their own foundation into tiny pieces. They are desperately trying to escape the exact trap they set for your pure soul. But the universe has firmly locked the iron doors of their spiritual prison. There is absolutely no escape from the universal law of divine reversal. Every single tear you shed in lonely isolation has been converted into pure spiritual gold. Heaven is stepping down today to publicly expose their dark and toxic plot. What they whispered maliciously in absolute secret is now being shouted from the highest rooftops. You do not have to lift a single finger to defend your clean reputation anymore. The universe is actively clearing your beautiful name in front of everyone they lied to. The people who foolishly doubted your pure character are feeling a massive wave of deep regret right now. They see the undeniable favor of the universe completely wrapping around your life. They recognize the quiet and untouchable authority resting heavily on your peaceful shoulders, and they are absolutely terrified of your raw power. You absorbed the dark chaos of your inner circle so they could experience temporary peace. You acted as the ultimate spiritual shield for people who never even thanked you, but the supreme architect of the universe says your brutal shift is officially over. It is finally time for you to be violently protected and fiercely defended by the heavens. I decree that a massive deposit of unexpected wealth and profound peace is being unlocked for you today. The heavy doors that seemed permanently glued shut are now flying completely wide open. The financial delay that exhausted your spirit was never a flat denial. It was the precise exactness needed to prepare you for this massive abundance. The dark matrix wants you to doubt this glorious and powerful revelation. The system is terrified that you will finally awaken to the immense power stored inside your own DNA. But the divine frequency of absolute victory is currently overriding their pathetic delay. You are holding the golden keys to the kingdom in your very own hands. You are officially stepping out of the painful shadows and walking into your new season of quiet authority. Let them completely misunderstand your majestic silence today. Let them wrongly assume whatever they want about your peaceful retreat. Your precious energy is far too expensive to spend on their incredibly cheap and meaningless daily drama. From this exact moment forward, your mere presence will command total respect from the universe. Your silence will become your absolute greatest weapon against the dark matrix. You are highly anointed, you are fiercely protected, and you are finally free from their toxic control. The heavy chains of the past are permanently destroyed today. I want you to physically feel this massive weight lifting off your tired chest right now. The exhausting spiritual assignment of healing broken people is officially complete. You are a completely sovereign being under the direct protection of the divine creator. No weapon ever formed against your pure light will ever prosper again. Now that the massive divine decree has been spoken over your life, you must understand your next crucial assignment. Receiving a massive blessing is only the very first step of your journey. You must now learn how to properly protect your new spiritual wealth. The enemy cannot stop the blessing from arriving today, but they will desperately try to make you mishandle it once it is finally in your hands. This brings us to the absolute strict rule you must follow from this moment forward. You must learn the profound power of absolute silence. When the massive breakthrough finally manifests in your physical reality, your human flesh will want to celebrate loudly. You will want to call the people who doubted you and prove them completely wrong. But you must resist that earthly temptation with all your might. If you proudly display your new blessings, you will attract the exact same toxic energy you just escaped. The dark matrix is constantly scanning the atmosphere for any signs of arrogant pride. Pride is the specific frequency that allows demonic attacks to enter your safe sanctuary. Your new wealth and profound peace are not meant to be weapons of petty revenge. They are sacred tools for your divine purpose. Your enemies will eventually see the radiant glow of your new life. They will notice that you are no longer drowning in their heavy chaos. And when they realize you have completely leveled up, they will try to sneak back into your circle. They will send casual messages pretending that absolutely nothing terrible happened between you. Do not fall for this highly deceptive and dangerous trap today. You must keep the heavy iron doors completely locked. Forgiveness does not mean giving them free access to your pure energy ever again. You can completely forgive them in your heart from a very safe distance, but you must never invite that specific poison back to your sacred dinner table. Your new season requires a much higher level of strict spiritual security. Your inner circle must remain very small. You are walking in the majestic shoes of a quiet victor now. A true king or queen never screams to prove their royal authority to the loud peasants. Their mere presence simply commands the room without a single spoken word. This is exactly how you must carry yourself through the rest of this beautiful year. Let your massive success make all the heavy noise while your spirit remains completely still. You must also release the desperate need for a formal apology. The toxic people who betrayed you will probably never admit their terrible mistakes to your face. Their fragile egos simply cannot handle the heavy weight of their own guilt. If you sit around waiting for them to say sorry, you are still giving them direct control over your peace. Your ultimate closure comes directly from the Holy Spirit today. Heaven has already validated your painful experiences completely. You do not need a confession from the dark matrix to know your own truth. Take a deep breath and gently release that heavy expectation right now. The energy you save from not arguing with fools will be redirected into building your empire. You have so much important work to do in this beautiful new season. You will start to notice that your daily routine feels incredibly peaceful. The constant drama and heavy anxiety that used to define your days will simply vanish. It might feel a little bit strange at first because your body is so used to fighting wars. You might even feel anxious because everything is suddenly so quiet and calm. But you must allow your tired nervous system to fully recalibrate today. You are completely allowed to enjoy a boring and peaceful afternoon. You do not have to constantly look over your shoulder waiting for the next bad thing to happen. The heavy spiritual war has officially relocated far away from your front door. Heaven is currently standing guard over your mind and your finances. You can finally sleep deeply through the long night without waking up in a cold sweat. As you step forward into this glorious new reality, remember who you truly are. You are a masterpiece of God and a highly protected chosen one. The heavy tears of your past have watered the beautiful gardens of your bright future. You must protect this precious garden with absolute fierce determination. We are about to seal this massive divine decree to ensure the enemy can never steal it from you again. We have reached the final moments of this divine transmission today. The heavy shift in the spiritual atmosphere is now completely secured around your aura. You walked bravely through the dark fire, and you came out entirely purified because heaven shielded your soul. The universe knows exactly how much it cost you to keep your pure heart soft. You survived a toxic world that desperately tried to make you bitter. You are no longer that exhausted version of yourself from last year. You are a sovereign being walking in absolute divine alignment today. The dark matrix has officially lost all of its twisted control over your bright destiny. They can no longer siphon your golden energy for their own selfish gain. You are entirely invisible to their low-frequency attacks. I want to speak a final prayer of absolute protection over your life right now. I declare that every remaining cord attached to your past is permanently severed today. The toxic voices of your old enemies will slowly fade into nothingness. Your beautiful mind is now a highly guarded fortress of divine peace, and no weapon formed against your bright light will prosper. You are fully shielded. You carried the heavy spiritual weight for your entire family line. You absorbed the dark chaos so others could breathe easily for a brief moment. But heaven is permanently closing your exhausting shift as the ultimate spiritual bodyguard today. It is finally time for you to sit down and be fiercely protected by the highest angels in the unseen realm. You have absolutely nothing left to prove. The days of begging for basic human decency are completely over. You will never again shrink yourself to make toxic people feel comfortable in your royal presence. Your massive light was given to you for a very specific and glorious purpose. You are a true masterpiece of God, and you are destined to shine in the highest places of this world. Let your quiet authority speak loudly for itself now. If they completely misunderstood your gentle silence before, they will be utterly terrified of your untouchable peace today. Your calm peace is the proof that heaven is actively fighting your hidden spiritual battles. When the unexpected blessings start pouring into your daily life, you must receive them with gratitude. Do not feel guilty for leaving the dark matrix completely behind you. You are entering a highly sacred era of effortless abundance and profound joy. The universe is about to reward your incredible endurance in wonderful ways you cannot even begin to imagine. Every single tear you cried in the lonely wilderness has watered the rich soil of your promised land. The massive harvest is fully ripe, and it is quietly waiting for your gentle hands to gather the rewards. Step forward boldly, but you must actively protect this new spiritual frequency from any future dark attacks. The enemy will always try to sneak back into your life when you are not paying close attention. You desperately need a safe space to constantly recalibrate your tired spirit and receive fresh divine instructions. This is exactly why you must anchor yourself to this highly protected spiritual community right now. Subscribe to this sanctuary and turn on the bell right now so the enemy cannot intercept your future messages. We are building a massive army of discerning warriors who operate exclusively in untouchable, quiet authority. When you permanently join this beautiful space, you are physically declaring that you are fully ready for the next level. You are locking your divine frequency in a completely hidden spiritual vault. Gently like this message as an act of absolute spiritual agreement with the universe today. Leave a powerful word in the comments below right now. We do not do this for artificial visibility on an algorithm. We do it as a powerful spiritual seal of agreement. This will successfully lock your massive breakthrough. Type the word Amen to claim this total spiritual liberation for your own beautiful life today. You are highly anointed and completely protected by the ultimate divine creator. You are the ultimate cycle breaker who finally won the silent war for your bloodline. Take one more deep breath right now and gently release the last drop of your hidden earthly anxiety. Your beautiful new season of majestic peace has officially begun today. Walk completely forward and never look back at the dark past. Let the profound silence of your final victory wash completely over your tired soul tonight. You can finally rest your busy mind and sleep deeply without any lingering fear. Heaven is standing guard over your precious life, and the highest angels are protecting your upcoming financial harvest. You are completely safe. You are incredibly loved by the massive universe. And your majestic story is just getting started.